vehicle with the lights and everything. Fairly simple. I'll work on that stuff with you later.
Sorry, question before we start. Would that like tire without
Correct. Yep, that's why it's here. I can't put this one on the road.
Okay.
It'll go on the road today to go take stuff. And yeah, it's got bad tires on the back too. So on this side, we're gonna only check what's different. So we're gonna check the things, the components that are not on our driver's side, okay? The one thing I do check general though, because there's a lot of them here, is the hoses. Okay, you wanna check the hoses are secured at both ends. There's no abrasions, bubbles, cuts, or leaks, okay? You wanna make sure your alternator, which is this one here, properly mounted and secured. It is not cracked or broken. The wires are in good condition, okay? You wanna make sure that it is belt driven. You want to make sure the belt has no more than 3/4 of an inch play at the center of the belt, and the belt itself is in good condition, not ripped or frayed. Okay. Your exhaust, you have your exhaust and your DPF filter. Okay, you want to make sure, same detail for both of them, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No signs of any leaks such as carbon soot or rust. Okay.
Okay.
And then we're going to go around, just don't hit your head. Just go around on the other side. Okay, so I kind of try to work myself like a pattern down so I don't forget something. If I drop down, I'm going to forget to come back up. So I'm going to start here with my coolant. Okay, you want to make sure the reservoir is in good condition. It's properly secured. It is not leaking, and it is above the minimum line here. Okay, if you had to add, you would add here at the top, but only when the engine is cool. Okay. You want to make sure the oil is at an adequate level. So you pull it out, check the oil. If you had to add, you would add here. Okay, both of those are not cracked or broken, no leaks on those. Your water pump is properly mounted and secured. It is not cracked, bent, or broken, and has no leaks. Okay. Your water pump is belt driven. It is the same belt that runs the alternator. So you can either identify that or give the detail again. No less than 3/4 of an inch play at the center of the belt. The belt is not ripped or frayed and in good condition. Okay. Behind our frame here, we have our power steering pump and our air compressor. Okay. So I'm going to give you the detail first. My power steering pump is properly mounted and secured. It is not cracked, bent, or broken. It is not leaking and gear driven. Okay. Same with my air compressor, but we separate those. Okay. Got to give the detail separately. Air compressor properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking, and also gear driven. Okay. I want to make sure here my steering column has no excessive play. It is not cracked or broken, in good condition. It is secured at both ends with U-joints. Your U-joints are properly mounted and secured. They aren't cracked or broken. My power steering reservoir here, it is in good condition. It is properly mounted and secured, and it is not leaking. Okay, we can see also that it's above the minimum line. If you needed to add, you would add here. These two hoses, you want to check, secured at both ends. No abrasions, bubbles, cuts, or leaks. Okay, check my power steering gearbox. It is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, and not leaking, okay? Because the fluid runs through that. Okay. Check your pitman arm. These are the only ones I'll let you guys lump some together. My pitman arm, my drag link, and my tie rod down here. Okay. Properly mounted and secured with castle nuts and cotter pins, not cracked, bent, or broken. Okay. My frame, properly mounted and secured. No illegal holes, no illegal welds. Okay, I got my suspension components. I have my spring mount, properly mounted and secured. All bolts are tight. Okay, it's not cracked or broken. I have leaf springs. My leaf springs here are properly mounted and secured. They are not cracked or broken, not shifted. If you had 4, you would be allowed to have 1 have damage. They'd be taken to the shop. Any less than 4, you can have no damage on your leaf springs. Okay, so here we can have no damage. I have my U-bolts, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. My shock absorber, properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked or broken. No signs of leaks. It would leak here first, okay? Okay. On the back side, we have our rear spring mount. Okay, this one and this diagonal is my shackle. Okay, so you can lump those together. Your rear spring mount and shackle, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken.
For the PIM arm, and then how you say it?
Pitman arm, and the drag link, they're secured with castle nut and cotter pin.
We only use that one.
Brake components. I got 7 brake parts. Okay, your brake hose, properly secured at both ends. No abrasions, bubbles, cuts, or leaks. Okay, your brake chamber, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and not leaking. The chamber clamp is secured around the chamber. It's properly secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Push rod, properly mounted and secured. okay, not cracked, bent, or broken. You are allowed no more than 1 inch of travel, okay, when the brakes are released and this is pulled by hand here. It is secured with the cotter pin here to the slack adjuster. Slack adjuster is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Inside the wheel here, we have our drums and linings, okay? You wanna make sure your drums are properly secured, not cracked or broken. No signs of overheating, so they're not warped, no bluing, no glazing, no oil or any contaminants on those. Okay, brake linings, properly secured, no oil, no contaminants. You wanna make sure that there's no less than 1/4 of an inch at the thinnest part of the lining there, okay? And then we got our ICD, inflation, condition, and depth. Okay, inflation, you would check with the commercial tire gauge at the valve stem here that it is to manufacturer's specifications, okay? Either tell me manufacturer's specs or give me the number. This truck is 110 PSI, okay? A couple other trucks are 120. So if you're gonna give the number, make sure you give the correct number, okay? Otherwise, manufacturer's specs works on that. Condition, you wanna check for any uneven wear. So there's no damage to the tire, no nails, no anything. Check the inner wall, the outer walls here for any bubbles. Okay, no leaks on the tire. You are not allowed to have recaps or retreads on the first axle here. You're only allowed new tires, okay? No mismatched tires. And then on your depth, no less than 4/32 at the minimum part of the depth of the wear on that one. Rim, no legal holes, no legal welds, properly secured, seated around the rim or the tire there. Lug nuts, properly mounted and secured. They're all present, they're tight. If there was rust or any shiny behind it, it would indicate that they were loose. Your studs are all present, not broken. Properly mounted, secured, and not broken. Valve stem, in good condition, properly secured, not broken. It does have a cap. You're gonna check your hub seal. Okay, properly mounted and secured, so the bolts are all there. It is not leaking, okay? To check the level, you can take off this cap. If oil drips out, we're good. If not, we would add 90 gear weight oil right here. And that is it.
All right.